efficient people get. It's completely, it's off the charts. What would you be like? 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 What would you be like?
Okay, we're going to be rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're on episode 32 with the return of Patchman Phil.
What's going on? Happy 32, everybody.
Happy 32. So, Patchman Phil, let's dive right into this. I was saying before we started, I was thinking about this episode 2 weeks ago when the Mets were in first place. I was like, can't wait to have him on. Let's get the fan base hyped. And it's probably been the worst 10-game stretch of the season.
Terrible. Did you watch today's game at all? Or
I missed today's game.
well, lucky for you, you missed today's game.
I know we lost. 3-2.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where anybody who's been following baseball, been following the Mets, they are really struggling offensively, and now they're looking like the team that people thought the negative going into the season. Right? It was they have good starting pitching, and you're not gonna be able to hit. That was their story last year.
Mm-hmm.
The first month of the season, they didn't really have starting pitching, and they hit. And now they're going back to during this losing streak what the floors were last year.
And I think one of the most surprising things to me is Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Are you worried at all? I mean, he's got an ERA over 5. I know he's coming off the game of his season, but you think there's reason to be concerned at all? Do you think it's just a rough month?
Here's the thing. Do you listen to Joe and Evan on the Fan a little bit?
Not necessarily. I'll catch some clips that find me on social media.
Yeah, they're I love them because they're Mets and Jets, and it's very rare that you have a Mets and Jets radio show, broadcast show. And so they were just talking about this, and they were just saying how Syndergaard he has this whole Thor persona and all these things, and Game of Thrones, he was in Game of Thrones, and everyone loves that idea. This guy's awesome. He's our superhero. Game of Thrones bobblehead. Noah Syndergaard long hair day giveaway and all that stuff that they have, But to me, it's if he's not going to put up the numbers and he's ERA around 5, people would be like, yo, what the hell is going on with him? And you ask me if I'm worried? Yeah, I'm worried. He has a 5-something ERA. I mean, eventually he has one good start against a Reds team who was terrible. That Reds team wanted to get out of there. I don't know. I'm worried. Definitely.
I'm starting to get a little bit worried too. I'm not too concerned. I think Noah's going to bounce back and actually have a great season. It's just not often we've seen him perform so poorly.
Let's put it this way.
Noah.
I got this patch on here, 34 Syndergaard, for a reason. I trust him for now. However, I am crossing my fingers a little bit. The Thor persona might be wearing off in the Mets.
Do you think it's in a spoiler alert? If you haven't seen Endgame, have you seen Avengers Endgame?
I'm full on Avengers now. I did.
You've seen it?
Yes, it's awesome.
Do you think it's strangely lining up that we had Lebowski Thor in Avengers Endgame, and we kind of had to do it now, Lebowski Thor here in April?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing,
now we're gonna witness his redemption arc.
I hope so. I hope he's back now to use that cool battle axe and all that stuff. I want, 100%. But part of me is it's a little scared. He came into the season, he had some kind of weird millennial hippie lips man bun and the beard and stuff. It's whoa, that wasn't the guy who pitched and won the only World Series game, first ever World Series game in Citi Field history. That wasn't that guy. That guy had his hair rocking.
That's Lebowski Noah.
Yeah, 60 feet 6 inches. That's the guy I want. Now I don't know, Nick. It's scary, but I have confidence in him. Hey, it's only May 8th or whatever.
It's only May 8th.
May 8th.
He's got a whole season in front of him. Let's talk about somebody who's performing quite well, who's becoming a fan favorite, Jeff McNeil.
Oh my God!
Was he batting 345?
Dude, I think it's I think it's
something crazy right now.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Alonso, but I'm glad you.
We'll get to Alonso next. I want McNeil to be the warm up right now.
And the reason why I'm glad you said McNeil is God, it's so sick. This is how messed up. This is how messed up. I don't know where to look because this is how messed up the Mets prospects are. Every time they tell you about a prospect, if they don't, it's almost if they don't tell you about him, he's the guy who's going to be the star. They told you McNeil when he came up. It's doesn't really have good defense. we'll fill him in to see how he does. The guy, all he does is hit.
That's it to all fields.
He can play every position.
Level swings, like it's just, you know what it is? It's like his fundamentals are so strong that it's almost like he's not a volatile, flashy player. I think that's why a lot of maybe scouts maybe slept on him, or why he wasn't made out to be such a big deal. Because he's not going to be the guy that hits 35 home runs, 100 RBI. He's not the guy who's going to win a Gold Glove. He's not the guy who's going to steal 50 bases. There's nothing necessarily explosive about him, but the guy is fundamentally the most sound guy on the team right now, especially at the plate.
I love it. I mean, at the plate, you can't. He bunts for hits and he slides in
That's
head
what
first.
I'm saying.
Like, there's no shift.
Yeah.
Like you can't. And like to me, it's like it's almost the Mets are like they put him in left, they put him in third, second. Like they don't know where to put him. They have to.
But
put
they
him
got to
in
find him a spot. They got to find him a spot
agree.
and let it be his spot. It's cool that he can play literally fucking anywhere. But
amazing.
this is a guy that we want to cement in somewhere. So I'm personally starting to get frustrated with Callaway because I feel like that's something you have to commit and invest in a player and let someone like Jeff McNeil, who's not necessarily a specialist at any position, you got to let him get the reps at one spot so he can get really good at that spot.
I totally agree. And going back to my point I was saying before, how like Nets didn't think he was that good. DeGrom, if you remember, wasn't hyped up either. DeGrom was like, hey, here's a spot start against the Yankees. This guy's a middle reliever. We'll let him pitch for a little bit. He was actually a shortstop. So to me, it's like I feel like the Mets might mess him up because he doesn't have a position. And it's like,
that's why I'm getting worried.
He's that good. He's like, yo, I'll play whatever. I'm that good. I hit like that's why I love it. As Mets fans, that's why we love him because like the squirrel, like yo, he gets his nut everywhere. You know, like that whole concept. I love it. I love it. So
it gets me hyped too, dude. He's my favorite player on the team right now. Before we move on to someone else who's performing well, let's talk about Brandon Nimmo. That's who scares me right now. I really think Noah will make the comeback. I'm really getting nervous about Nimmo batting below 200. I think he's 191 right now. Yeah, something ridiculous.
Yeah, he had an RBI double today, but totally. Again, like this is crazy. Like I'm actually totally agreeing with everything you're saying. I almost think they should send him down. And when Jed Larry comes up, I would almost send him down. And
maybe let him figure himself out for a little bit.
Right. Because it worked from Conforto. However,
Truth.
I love Keon Broxton. I met him in spring training when I went down there. Awesome guy. He was telling me like, you know, I asked him like because he was in the Brewers was in the Game 7 last year, one game away from the World Series, and I asked Keon, I'm like, yo, what was it like, whatever, and he's like, it was awesome, and I was like, times 10 what would it be like at Citi Field. I was there in 2015, and he was like, yo, and we were kind of,
oh my god,
he was like, yo, I want to bring that feeling back, and like, so I like that vibe. However, Keon's not doing well, so if they promote Keon, if they demote Keon for Jed Larry, I can understand that. But Nimmo got to be on a tight leash at that point.
Yeah, no, if it's not Broxton, it's him, man. Like it's
yeah, exactly what they do, you know.
And it sucks because Nimmo's he's a reliable glove in the field.
He's so likable. Like
yeah,
see how you can get on Syndergaard because like he does these movies and like he dresses around like Thor. Like Nimmo, like he's like, oh shucks.
He just wants to play.
Jeez, guys, like you know, like, so it's crazy, you know. Like,
he's like your friendly neighborhood like center fielder.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's talk about the big boy. Let's talk about Pete Alonso smacking these
pistol
dingers, baby. Oh my God, what was that? How far did the ball go that he hit the other night in the 9th inning? How far did that fucking ball go?
All I know is he's half man, half bear, all Pete, baby. Man, bear, Pete.
Man, bear, Pete. I like that. Is that getting over? Is Man, bear, Pete getting over?
Yeah. So this is I don't know if you've ever seen South Park. There's an episode.
Yeah, Man, bear, pig.
Right.
The whole idea.
So this guy Clem from Barstool.
Yeah.
Somehow he made a picture, and it's like I'll send you afterward. It's like a picture of the polar bear and of Pete and like Man, bear, pig like in the South Park cartoon style. It's awesome. So
oh shit, that's
so people
cool.
started saying it, and like I'm coining it like in a way too. Like I'm saying it all the time. Like
Man, bear, Pete.
Yeah. He definitely heard me. Like I was down in like batting practice. A really cool opportunity was down in batting practice, and I was like, Man, bear, Pete. Or like I see him in the game, like Man, bear. Fans like they love it, so they start chanting with me now. Yeah. So it's
that's awesome.
Kind of a thing.
We'll help you get it over. Man, bear, Pete will be a thing.
Man, bear, Pete, baby.
Man, bear, Pete, gotta love it. But I think it's great because I was gonna say the Mets have not. Can you help me? Maybe it's right under my nose and I don't know. But who's the last power hitter we called up from our farm system?
All right, so it's funny you asked that. So like, you know, I talked to a lot of friends who are Met fans, and they're like, when's the last time we legitimately had a power hitter? And I was like, do I say strawberry? Like, do I date myself? Or we're like,
Well, dude, what about Piazza? What about Piazza, though? You're not going to tell me Piazza's not...
You're talking about non-homegrown then. You're talking about legit.
Oh, well, I am talking homegrown. That's
what I'm saying.
Okay,
Well,
okay, sorry.
Piazza's
That's my
ours.
mistake.
He's not LA. However, I wouldn't say he came up with him. You know what I mean? He's not. Piazza's ours. 100%.
We've had flashes of greatness like Ike Davis, like flashes of greatness, but like nothing that panned out.
Yeah, like Delgado had a couple of nice years. Beltran hit 41 home runs.
But we didn't groom those guys.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
him,
that's what I'm saying. Is who's the last league who's the last world beater that we groomed?
Who's like a straight power hitter?
World beater.
Right.
40 home runs. Fear in the hearts of every pitcher.
Right. So like Todd Hundley had like a.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, I was like 6 or 5. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest with you folks, not 100% sure if he's homegrown or not, but he's the last time I'm in my mind where I think of like a guy who's like Mets who hit 41 home runs.
Like, we're not crazy, right? David Wright had flashes of being that kind of player, but he turned into a different player. Like, he turned into more of a 25 home run kind of guy.
Right. So the Mets will have 30 home run guys. I mean, Howard Johnson. There are guys who are franchise players who do that, who grew up through the Mets. I mean, Man Bear Pete, like, listen. You say crazy nicknames. When you see your comment, Met fans, you ride it. You look at it. You don't look away. You stare right at it and you cheer.
It's the Jeff McNeil era with Man Bear Pete.
That's it, man.
We're doing it.
Squirrel and Bear, man. It sounds like a Cartoon
Squirrel
Network
and Bear
show.
with Thor.
Yeah.
Thor, Squirrel, and Bear.
That's it, man. That's on Cartoon Network late night.
You can make it happen.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But you know what? This is a topic that's come up with a lot of people I've had on this podcast who talk baseball. The league needs a face. The league not only needs a face, the league needs some fun personalities. And I don't think many baseball fans would argue with that.
Well, look at Bryce Harper. He isn't even as good as like some of the other like Trout or something, but like he's a personality, right?
He's definitely a personality.
He's a personality. So like,
yes.
I love to look at him. We're like, that's what a bitch looks like, you know? You know what I mean? But he's a personality, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So we definitely need more. And so can Alonso be that guy?
I'd love for Pete Alonso to be that guy. I like Batman and Robin. Alonso, like fucking Batman.
That's
Jeff McNeil, Robin, baby.
Yeah, damn, that's good too. Yeah.
Like
a Banjo-Kazooie.
I like that. Because he's Man Bear Pete.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll Photoshop that.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen. But that's crazy.
Lodge exclusive right here.
Exactly. Patent it.
There you go.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that come out of the Mets because the Mets have always done a good job of like making the game fun beyond the game. I guess what I mean by that is like the experience you have at the ballpark. The Mets really do go above and beyond to entertain you beyond the game, in between innings, before the game, after the game. They're
crazier than the Ducks, and that's how crazy.
And the Ducks have to be that. Yeah,
exactly. They're like a minor league team. The way they, in a good way though, a way they keep you like in between innings. All the food they have in the ballpark, it is awesome. And it's just a shame that like once a decade they actually have a legit like pennant contender. Yeah. And it's a shame. And if you look at their franchise, it literally is once a decade. They can't sustain success, and it's very frustrating. With that being said, you gotta believe.
You gotta believe. But that's the thing is like I think what makes this season so frustrating is like you can't not look at this roster and just see the potential.
Right. Like last time we talked, right? Yeah. We were trying to hype up Brody Van Wagenen, and like I meant, like I love that before the offseason really ended. I love his swag, and he preached depth, right?
Yeah.
Look at it now, Wilmer, Front, I think his name is. Hands up, if you know who he is. Wilmer Front. Right? He pitched today's game. Who the hell is Wilmer Front? I think I'm saying his name right. He started today's game for the Mets. So it's very scary to me. And then you have the Phillies, who I can't stand, who takes and gets Bryce Harper, gets JT Realmuto. Yes, was the Phillies got a better deal, but they went out and got these players. And you have the Marlins coming to town this weekend. And if you don't beat up on the Marlins, it's going to be another mediocre, waste away year at Citi Field in the summer.
Oh, so you're saying that this upcoming series against the Marlins could be a turning point.
They have the Marlins for 3, Nationals for 3, Marlins for 3. So 6 out of the next 9 games against the Marlins. In those 6 games, if they don't take 5 or 6, they're going to be in trouble.
You're not wrong.
They're going to be in trouble. Phillies are 5-1 this year against the Marlins.
No shit?
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
I saw that today, and I was like, we got to take care of business. Are we now recording?
No. We're still rolling. We're still rolling.
You give me the face like, what's
No,
going on?
my headphones tapped out for a second.
All right,
but then I did a spot check. I was like, that's still going. That's still going. We're still going. So you were saying?
I was saying that Philadelphia sucks.
Yeah, fuck Philly. Fuck Philadelphia Phillies. I can't say that as an Eagles fan. I definitely can't say that as an Eagles fan.
Yeah. So we got to take care of the Marlins. They're supposed to be the doorstep of the division.
The doormat.
Everybody's
fucking
whatever you want to say, they suck. You got to take care of business against them. If not, it's gonna be fun going to games. It's fun, drink beers and have a good time and listen to the Piano Man, and I love it. But like, I want to win, and
I want to win too, dude.
It's gonna be
That's
a 500.
the bottom line,
folks. It's gonna be a 500 season if they don't take care of business against the NL East lower teams.
Well, they have to, and I think what's important is going in today we were 3.5 games out of first.
Yep.
Like, it's not a disaster right now. It's we're still well within reach to compete for a playoff spot. I just think the part that's frustrating Mets fans is after getting off to such a good start, had they just maintained that pace, they'd be well above in first place in this division right now.
Right. So here's the thing, right? You look at the record, and a week ago, you were just saying how
I was hyped to come in here and talk about the first place Mets.
They lost a lot of close games, 1-1 games to the Reds, right?
Yep.
Close games. So they're in it. You kind of feel that creeping Mets fan like pessimism in your head a little bit. Like,
yeah, it's
here
so
we go
true.
again.
It's so
here
true.
we go again. Wilmer Front's now starting. Syndergaard's not himself. Cano, like, you keep getting hit in the hand. What's going on? Like, Nimmo really took a step back. And, like...
DeGrom's been good, but he hasn't been great.
Right. So then it's like, Matt's missed a couple starts. And it's like, what's going on? And, like, Vargas, like, he's been good last, 3 starts. But has even Vargas good? So, like, it's frustrating to me. And then you have, like, Craig Kimbrell still out there as a free agent.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Or Dallas Keuchel. And it's
I really can't believe that. It's beyond me, Phil. I have no idea how those two guys can still be out there.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the names. It's very frustrating. I think there's some rule by like June 1st where there's draft pick compensations or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe there's some rule like that. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you know who's going to get them? It's going to be like a division rival, like the Braves or something like that. Or like you watch the Phillies at the deadline and they'll go out and like they'll get Stroman from the Blue Jays or they'll get some big time pitcher. And it's like the Mets, like who knows what they're going to do? I don't know. Like, and like
none of us know.
And I want to like Brody. Like I met him. Did I tell you I met him?
You met Brody?
Yeah, I was sitting in.
Shit.
Yeah. I was sitting in.
Yeah, go on.
The Caesars Club, Foxwoods Club, or whatever it is now. And I was sitting there, and he's walking right by. I'm with my family. Jen is there, and he comes by. I'm like, "Hey, Brody, what's going on?" Like I knew him, and I was just like, "Hey, can I take a picture real quick?" And I said hello to him, and like he loved the jacket and everything, And I was basically like, "Yo." I didn't want to be like a dick, but I also kind of wanted to like talk and let him know what's going on. Yeah. And I was like, "Yo, we gotta start winning these games." And and he's like, "Yeah, we're doing." He's like, "We're gonna get the win today." And like he was like very even to my face. Like I don't know if he says it so much he believes it. The guy was so damn.
He might
confident.
be one of those kind of guys.
Right. He gave me a fist pound and went on his way. Took the picture with him.
But that's the Mets spirit. That's the you gotta believe spirit.
Right.
So I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
But I just think the Mets have a real opportunity this season to get something started. I'm not saying this needs to be the World Series Mets. That would be great. And who knows? We could be that team. But I think it would do the fan base and that locker room a lot of good if they could scrap out a playoff berth with all these young guys in the lineup.
I totally agree. 2015, if you told me this time in 2015, I'll be screaming the same way. I literally would be like, what's going on? Like, Eric Campbell and, like, John Mayberry Jr.? I'm like, and the Nationals were supposed to be the division favorites, and, like, we're just standing there doing nothing. And so... Yeah,
it's really frustrating.
It feels like it could go either way. It feels like it could be, like, last season, and we just drop off and, like, have baseball that is meaningless in the summer. Or we can have a 2015, 2016 type run.
Some kind of run, man. You know what's crazy is like I'm almost down for like a 2005 style run where we're just in it to the end at the very least. Man. Something that keeps the fan base electrified. If we could finish above 500, I feel like the Mets fan base spirits would simply be lifted by that. Pathetic as that may sound to our crosstown rivals, but with all these young guys out here and seeing that Brody is going to back the established pitching on this roster, getting 1 year in the green would electrify this fan base. At least I think so.
Right. So it's very frustrating. Like I said, it's very frustrating. But like at the same point, it's like it's so close. Like we're not the Marlins or like we're not the Padres who these teams just been in an abyss. Like we're relevant, but not relevant. And like I'm not even comparing them to the Yankees because you just can't. You're talking about a team who, I don't know, Urshela or like who the hell are all these players? Like they come up and they're awesome, and they come up and they produce. We're like, I don't know, like I feel like every game, like I don't know who the Mets relievers are. Who the hell are all these guys?
I don't know.
Tyler
it's a merry-go-round. It's a merry-go-round,
Goggin or Drew Gognan or I'm literally looking at these players. I'm like, who are these guys?
And like you're saying, there are two quality arms that are out there right now.
Like you look at the roster and like, who are these guys? And like, it's frustrating in a way because you like somebody like me and you and like I spend so much goddamn money on this team and like, all right, and like I just want to be like I want to be like Mets fans. Your team has finally has won the World Series. I'm like, I want to pick up the phone. I want to call Sports Illustrated. I'm like, I'll have all of it. Here's my credit card.
Yes.
I want it, man. I want the pillow. I want the damn trophy and memorabilia, rare edition Sports Illustrated cover. Like, whatever. I want it,
You know what it is, man? As Mets fans, at least our generation of Mets fans, it's like we're all dying for it. We're dying for our one. We've gotten so close. Like when we were little kids in the 2000 World Series, we were so close. When we were like teenagers and it was like 2006 and we were a game away, we were so close.
That one still hurts.
And then we were like young adolescents in our early 20s and the 2015 run happened and we just fucking missed. And it's like we just keep getting blue balled. And there's like, I use this metaphor all the time. There's like a 5-year-old version of me like kicking and screaming and he won't stop until we win.
I totally agree. It won't stop until you win. You were going on a rant there, so I didn't want to cut you off. But listen, I agree because it literally is like, listen, the reason why we love it is like, I get enjoyment. Like, I legitimately get like enjoyment. Like,
yeah, it's a rush. It feels great.
Like, you ever see a kid like open the N64, that little kid, and it's like, oh, I got a Nintendo 64.
You freak out. Yeah, because you're,
Even as an adult, I may not be screaming out loud like that, but there's some times when it's like, you get that rush when like the playoffs, that 2015, like, and and I just like I go nuts and like
it just feels like you and the tribe are at war. Like it summons a barbarian.
Like
yeah,
dude, I love that.
It summons a barbarian. It summons the barbarian in us in a safe environment.
That feeling,
and that's what's so captivating.
That feeling when 2015, that in that City Field, and like you brought up 06 and stuff like that, but like this is you're talking about recent. Like I was fortunate enough to have every ticket to every playoff game, and I went to every Mets home playoff game, and it was like insane. Like it. I don't believe.
I can't imagine how electric. I can't imagine how electric.
I can't explain to you in words how rowdy it was. It literally was like a dream come true. And like we're so close. You're right, we're so close. But then the worst part about it is going back to why I said it's so frustrating is we're not. And
yeah, it's like we have to start over. It's like 2015 couldn't sustain itself.
Sustain success.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
The Mets have not figured it out in how many years they've been around. We're starting 62.
What do you think it is?
But that's how long they can't sustain success.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is? What's the control in the experiment here? What do you think it is?
I mean, you know it.
Are you gonna go there? We're gonna go there.
Listen,
I'm gonna let you go there.
I want them to promote me someday, so I'm not gonna knock them. However, I'm gonna indirectly knock them. Such as a will ends with a on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But,
fair enough. Fair enough.
And that's post Madoff, to be honest with you.
I agree.
And there's no reason why Bryce Harper's not on the Mets.
There's no reason why.
And here's the thing,
bro. I'll take it 10 steps back.
To everybody. They're like, yo, we're not playing around. It just sends a message. And
Phil,
I know he's not batting well right now, but his impact in the lineup.
Phil, I'm so with you. And what I want to say is like, take it 10 steps backwards from Bryce Harper. If we signed fucking Keuchel or we signed fucking who's the other guy? Kimbrel?
Well, that's the thing.
Okay, we're not Kimbrel. Who is it? Who's the other guy? Who's the other reliever? It is Kimbrel.
Yeah,
okay, it is Kimbrel. Yeah, like just signing those guys show like, oh, the Mets are not just gonna die with their tail between their legs.
I want them to be smart. I'm not telling you to hand out Manny Machado crazy contract. I'm not. However, when a star comes along like that, you should consider it. And what's frustrating to me about the owners, and like I'm not, again, like I hope one day you endorse me, and like I understand it's the business and they want to make the most profit. However, but I'm going to speak truthfully. It's scary because we and I both know it's not even worth talking about. The Mets didn't even talk to him, Bryce Harper. Yeah. Literally, Brody Van Wagenen in interviews sat down with him and Jeff Wilpon and Mike Francesa, and it was like, well, we got to be creative. That's nicely saying, yeah, no way in hell.
No way you're getting that. I mean, that blank check.
I got to be creative. Come on, and now you have Kimball available. Let's go out and win.
That's what I'm saying. Go
out and win.
That's what I'm
saying.
He
knows
the NL
East.
Light a little fire.
Grew up with the Braves. Knows the East. Just a microphone, because now I'm going off.
Go. Yeah. I'm turning you down.
Won the World Series. Proven won the World Series with the Red Sox. You got to go get him. Or go out and get Keuchel. Give him a freaking 1-year deal. Pay him $20 million or whatever the hell the guy wants. He wants at least 17 because that's what he turned down for his qualifying offer.
Wow.
So you got to give him at least 20 for 1 year. And you know what? I guarantee you, the fan base will love it more than putting Vargas out there and goes, "Hey guys, Vargas." 4 2/3 today, 2 runs.
Yeah, I can't believe fucking Vargas even made this team.
4 2/3 today. Hey, let's go out. 18-inning game. Vargas, now he gets his hamstring hurt the next game. He couldn't pitch fast 4 innings. Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
I know injuries is fluke, but that's the game you have to get hurt in. It's very frustrating.
I would.
Word of the day.
Frustrating?
Man, Bear, Pete, saying of the day.
But I remain optimistic. Through all of this, through this 30 minutes of conversation, I remain optimistic about these New York Mets. They have fight. They have fight. But I prefer Terry Collins to Callaway.
Stop. That's another 30 minutes of me just. I love Terry. I met him.
Yes.
Terry Collins. Yeah. I got a game worn jersey from the NLCS. I got him to sign that. Awesome. I would get a Terry Collins TC patch. I would wear it with honor.
Well, Terry loved his team. He might be my all-time
favorite manager. I'll be honest with you. I love Bobby V. I do. It's tough. Like Terry might be my all-time favorite Mets manager.
I love Terry Collins.
Before even the ass in the jackpot, he was so fiery, man. Like his for what rant when he's like yelling. Here's the difference. You ready?
Ready.
Mickey Callaway. It came out a couple of days ago, and he was basically like, well, these are the guys in the lineup. This is who I have. And like Barry Vanilla, I think I might even said it more energy than he did. Terry Collins comes in and it was like, goes, last time I checked, these are major, on the front, there's a major league teams, the Mets. And he basically ripped them and goes, if these guys can't hit, I'll get some other guys who will. And basically said in the press conference, and he said that. And it's that Moneyball style Mets still that's looming over them. That's like, hey, Terry Collins, like, we kind of want to push you out the door. But the Wilpons, I'll give him credit here. And Fred, he kept him around. Where Mickey, he listens to the binder. He's very mellow.
He's very by the book. He's very old school. He's very old school.
Terry is old school, you're saying, yeah. Mickey's very new school, very, very by the book, analytics. I don't, and this is the way baseball's going. I don't even know, and does Mickey decide the lineup? I don't even know that. Or does like Brody and his stat boys give it to him? I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
Maybe that's how Callaway got the job. Maybe he was willing to do something like that.
Yeah, that plus is like all shucks, like stupid chuckle optimism. Exactly. So.
But let's talk about one of Brody's big moves. What do you think of the Diaz-Cano deal 1 month in? Because that was one of the big splashes of the season, the Cano-Diaz deal. 1 month in, how do you feel about it?
I'm indifferent by it. I have to see how Diaz pans out. If Diaz,
well, he's 9 for 9, is he not?
No, I believe he blew. I think he blew his first save against the Reds.
That wasn't a tie game.
I thought he blew the save, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so
I thought he blew a save. I know the other night he got out of a base loaded jam against the Padres. But yeah, so I have to look at him more, right? The main reason you did the deal is for Diaz.
This
guy Kalinick, the guy the top prospect they traded for, he came out of high school. I don't know how much he's going to be of him. Again, he could be right? It could be like a Dom Smith. He comes out like, this guy's could be great, and we saw what Dom Smith is. He's not an all-star.
Cooled off.
Right. He's not an all-star, right? So you draft people in the first round to be an all-star. That's what you do. So I don't know if this guy's going to be an all-star or not. I have no idea. We play the tape 10 years from now, this guy's probably killing the league because the Mets traded him. However, I don't know. So looking at the deal, Cano means a lot for the team's morale I think he's helping Rosario become a leaguer.
And Rosario's having a good year. At the plate,
defensively, he's a joke. At the plate, he's like 280.
He's like 280 right now.
Yeah. At the plate, and so he'll get there. I'm not knocking Rosario. I'm not too worried about him. But I think Cano scares me. That back end of the contract could scare me. So if Diaz pitches lights out and is an all-star closer, and Cano is a valuable bat down the line, and not a liability year 2 and year 3, I love the trade. And May 8th, I can't speak and say great deal or bad deal.
Yeah, no, it's too early. It's a very early evaluation.
I really don't know.
We might honestly, dude, when around the All-Star break, we could be having a very different conversation.
Right. If Cano's average really dips and Diaz is mediocre, right, we know you shouldn't have done the deal. But I would say by the end of the year, I could make an opinion on it. At least give me 1 year to see how Diaz does in a couple big-time saves against Philly.
All right.
And let's revisit
this in October.
Right. And we'll see how Cano does in the playoffs this year.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, okay. We'll see what happens. I hope so.
I hope so, too.
I honestly, like I said,
playoff baseball's the fucking best, dude.
It's so fucking electric, baby. We're dropping F-bombs. It's the fucking best, baby.
It's the fucking best. Speaking of F-bombs, this has nothing to do with F-bombs, but I saw that you put in a bid to be an XFL season ticket holder.
Oh, I'm an XFL season ticket holder, baby.
So you are an XFL season ticket holder.
Yeah, I put the deposit down. I did it today. Yeah.
Oh my God. Hell yes.
All right, close your eyes for a moment, folks. Close your eyes. It's candid. Hold on.
I'm closing my eyes.
Here comes Vince walking out. This is the XFL.
Wow.
Not bad. Like 7
Not
out of
bad.
10.
No, that was good.
Not
That was
bad,
good.
man.
I think they'll like it.
Yeah, I went to WrestleMania, so I've been working on my things. Hell in a Cell. Kiss my ass.
Oh my God.
Vince.
But I'm excited for the XFL because it gives the chance for New York to unite under one team.
Oh, dude. Even if it goes 1 year, I'll be kicking myself.
Let's just go in.
I'll be kicking myself to say, fuck. I didn't join. I could have got XFL. That opening game, the tailgate, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. So
it's going to be unbelievable.
There's no way I cannot go. So it is what it is.
Me and all my friends have made a little pact, and we've been talking about it for the last few years, since the murmurs of the XFL started coming to the surface again. And we were like, listen, we can't agree on baseball. None of us agree on football. Like hockey, we're divided. Let's be united for the XFL.
You getting season tickets? Only $50 deposit.
What did they come out to for the whole season? $50 deposit ain't bad.
You can choose your seat, so it's only $50 deposit. I'll be honest.
Ooh.
I was looking into. I used to be a big New York Dragon fan, arena football.
Coliseum. I loved the Dragons.
Oh, dude. I can't go to full Dragons history, but they crushed my heart the last season when they lost to the Philadelphia Soul, and I don't want to get into another rant.
Bon Jovi's team.
I can't stand them. Another Philadelphia team. But the point is this: is that the arena football, it was so cheap, dude. So I'm like, there's no way the XFL. There's no way it could be that. There's no way. There's no way a lower bowl seat is more than $500 for the season. There's no way. I'm not like,
well, yeah, eight games, probably like $80 a seat. That's a good point.
There's 5 home games. There is no way. I'm telling you, can get $500 or less and get a good seat in the stadium.
You're not wrong, Phil.
Jump in it now. I'm telling you, folks. I looked up XFL, $50 deposit, totally worth it. Because now, what happens when the uniforms come out, when they start announcing a little bit more, but the players stuff, people are going to jump in. You can get the deposit now and get the pre-order sale because you're a pre-order season ticket holder. And you can jump on it now for $50, please. I can piss away $50 at Citi Field like it's nothing.
Guys, I swear to you, the XFL did not sponsor the podcast, and this was not just an ad read. So the XFL.
Kevin Gilbride's the head coach of their new XFL team.
Who's Kevin Gilbride?
He was the old Giants offensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl with Tom Coughlin. And he also got punched in the face by Buddy Ryan when he's with Philadelphia.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. What's the name of the New York team? Do we know yet?
We don't have the name yet. I'm hoping it's the Hitmen, but if they have someone else cool and corny, I'll get into it too, sure.
Imagine they brought back the Dragons for the XFL.
Well, the Hitmen
wasn't that the original New York team for the XFL?
It was Hitmen, New York Hitmen.
It was the New York Hitmen.
It was New York, New Jersey Hitmen. Arena football with the Dragons when he used to play at the old Coliseum.
I used to love, dude. I
would get season tickets for that too if they ever came back. But
oh my God.
NYBC Theater, I don't know. Probably not now. We'll see.
Those games are so much fun, man. Arena football, because they were just running up the score, throwing 50-yard Hail Marys.
The best, man.
Like, it such a good time.
And so like the way did you see the XFL documentary? And
I did not.
Oh, I think it's a 30 for 30. It's one of the ESPN films. You gotta see it. It's like the rise and fall of the XFL, and it's like.
Is
awesome.
it good?
Matt Vasgersian, the baseball announcer, he was the announcer of the XFL.
Oh.
I've been looking into the XFL.
Interesting.
Yeah. So not at the old one. This year, it's on Fox, it's on ESPN, it's on ABC. Saturdays and Sunday afternoons.
Wow. That's epic.
Yeah, starts in February, right after the Super Bowl. And I'll be honest with you, I'm such a big XFL supporter. I watched one half of AAF because I bet on the game. Other than that, I haven't watched. I didn't want to get AAF.
Dude,
so I'm glad. I'm glad it folded. I'm glad it folded. And it was tempting, Christian, to actually see what Christian Hackenberg, how shitty he is. It's tempting. I love watching Trent Richardson have a 1.2 rushing average and get like 5 touchdowns. I love it, but I didn't watch it because I love the XFL so much, and I want Vince to bring back that XFL glory.
I think he will. I think there's got to be some niche market for spring summer football. There just has to be.
He's smart. It basically is going to be.
He what did he withdraw? Like $150 million in
out of his
WWE stock?
Out of his own stock. Yeah,
out of his own stock.
He didn't rush into it. Like he waited 2 years. He not only that, he waited out the AAF.
Yeah, that was a wise move on his part. That looks genius.
I'm telling you, man, Vince, and like as you just saw, I'm a big Vince supporter. He's so smart, man. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm really pulling for this XFL league. My money aside.
I hope so too. I guess we'll wait and see.
Worst comes to worst, at least I can say like I was the XFL season ticket holder.
Yeah.
Who knows what perks they're gonna have?
Hey, bro, you're right.
Yeah.
$500 for season tickets really is not terrible.
Right. I mean, I'm just ballparking it based on what the New York
That's
Dragons
fair,
were.
because
Right.
Yeah,
so
$100 a seat, $100 a seat, 5 games a year. I think that's a fair.
Right. And there's no way you're gonna get lower bowl. Gotta be a corner end zone. Like
honestly,
up front,
dude,
or
I'm
50,
willing to
30.
bet I'm willing to bet there's going to be cheaper seats than that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know
but
what
I'm talking
saying?
about like if I'm gonna do it, I might as well
do it.
do
I
it.
feel you.
I might as well be like on TV, like 50-yard line, or like corner end, like right before, like row 1 or row 2 behind the end zone, like something crazy like that.
God damn. All right, so we're marching along here, and I want to make enough time to at least jump into this little wonder, one of the wonders of the underground world you've brought to this podcast. Those who are watching, you'll be able to physically see it. Those listening, we will describe it the best we can. But you have acquired the official Resident Evil 2 board game.
That's right, folks.
This exists.
It's a Kickstarter. It started as a Kickstarter 2 years ago. Some guy started it up. I think it was like Steamford Games was a company in like the UK or something like that. And huge, as you guys know, the Landis know, and you guys, your whole family knows, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Number 1 video game franchise for me. And I had to get it, man. I'll be honest with you. I spent like $200 in so many accessories and stuff like that. But what I'm about to show you is the actual game itself.
Bro, yeah. Bring it in shot.
Yeah.
So for people who are watching, if you want to just grab it real quick. If you're listening, it is a crisp, bold white box that has a door slightly open and a zombie looking you dead in the eye.
It's the
ready to rip your face off and chop off your nuts and stuff them down your throat. That's how these zombies roll.
It's the old Resident Evil 2 cover photo. People know what I'm talking about, and it's legit. It's legit. If you turn the back, it's like a tile-based game, so you kind of move around a little bit. Similar to D&D in the style that
it's like it seems to me it appears to be like Dungeons and Dragons, but with a board.
Right. So there's like tile spaces, and you move around. You get 4 actions per turn, so you can move, open a door, reload a gun.
And basically, what you're doing is you're playing yourself through a campaign.
Right.
Like there are certain campaigns you could choose, and you and your party go through this campaign together.
Yes.
So it's more of a cooperative ordeal rather than a competitive ordeal.
Yes. It's basically you have to survive this mission, and it could be rescue this police officer to kill this giant alligator zombie. And every turn, like I was telling you before, every turn. There's like a tension card, and like it could be clear, it could be 3 zombies break through a window, or like a zombie dog. And so it just
it's all random and it's luck of the draw.
Yeah,
that is so cool, dude.
Yeah,
so where can people buy this? And by the way, this is not another sponsorship and not another ad read, I swear. But where can people buy this? Because this is cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's awesome. SteamfordGames.com. If you just Google Resident Evil board game, you could find the basic box. Some of the expansions go up. I was lucky enough to goes up for like $50 to $80. It depends. Honestly, I'm not even sure what this runs now, because I know it did come out. I think you might be able to get the regular game for under $100, to be honest. The expansions and some of the other stuff, it may run you a little bit more. eBay or you Google it, Amazon.
So
Prime.
it's out there. It's out there. Multi-platform.
It's
people can find it.
Just Google Resident Evil 2 board game. You can find it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So now that we've discussed this board game, I actually want to dive into, because it was something we spent a lot of time on the first episode I had you on.
Yeah.
So how was the Resident Evil 2 remake?
Did you play it?
I have not gotten there yet. It's on the to-do list. I know. I'm letting you down right now.
Man.
I'm gonna get there.
I actually play Kingdom Hearts, so there you go.
There you go.
All right.
We can hop over there later, but I want to.
Yeah. All right. So here you go.
Tell me about Resident Evil 2.
Here's my take. So I'm talking to people, those who played Resident Evil before. So I'm assuming they have the idea,
some knowledge of it.
Right.
Those who don't, it's a zombie shooter. Imagine what you will.
Right. So how do I compare it to? It is amazing. 10 times better than Resident Evil 7. Which got high praises. It basically it made me fear zombies again. They look scary because of the graphics, but they're hard to kill, and they're almost like ammo sponges in a way where it almost rewards you to dodge them, but it's hard to dodge them. So it's like you have to pick what hallway you're gonna mow them down and what hallways don't you, because you only have a certain amount of ammo.
So it's like you got to pick your battles,
right?
Essentially,
and through trial and error, you could figure out what's the best way to do the game.
How was the game difficulty wise, and were there different settings for you to choose?
Yeah, so I did standard when my first playthrough. I beat there's 2 characters, Leon and Claire, and the campaigns are a little different. And yeah, I would say difficulty wise, if you ever played a Resident Evil game before, it's difficult, but you can beat it. Hardcore mode is very hard, but I love it. And
fuck yeah.
Because if the old games...
Hell yes.
Hell yes. The old ones, if you remember, there's a thing called an ink ribbon. So there's no auto-saves. And you got to choose when you want to save your game. So they brought that back for the hardcore mode, which is good. It makes it more of a challenge.
It forces you to sit down and play in extended lengths of time.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea. I know a lot of people like the old doors opening. I don't know if you remember the old Resident Evils.
Yeah, it was almost like a small cutscene to open the door.
Yeah, it was cool. It was creepy.
Yeah.
But it was a little dated. I liked how it was just fluent through.
Open the door now. Yeah.
I was skeptical at first. I like it now. It's quick. It's moving. I would still put Resident Evil the remake for GameCube, or now Resident Evil Origins, as my favorite of all time.
Wow.
But this is 1A to it.
This is right there, right below it.
As far as a newer Resident Evil game, you can't beat this. And I'll go on record and saying it, I love this game. I played it with friends. I helped them beat the game. It's just something about playing it and the first time that you experience it, not knowing what's going to happen. The puzzles are good. I think the puzzles are challenging. They did a great job. The giant alligators back in it again.
That's cool.
There's some knocks I'll say. There's no giant spiders. I kind of miss that.
Okay.
I love the.
I remember the giant spiders.
I love the giant spiders.
See, that used to freak me when I was a kid.
Yeah, they're scary, man.
Freak
They're
me
scary.
A lot.
They shoot a little venom and shit.
Little fucking bastards, man.
Yeah. They were a pain in the ass. They're only in there to be a pain in the ass. There's no you could dodge them the whole game if you know what you're doing. But they scared you as a kid.
Fuck your day up.
Yeah. So I love it, man. I recommend everybody try Resident Evil 2. If you like a good survival horror game or a shooter game, I wouldn't call it Gears of War, or shoot 'em up, action like that. But there is action. There's 10 zombies in a hallway, and you got to figure it out.
And if you're listening and if you're a fan of horror movies, this is the kind of game for you.
Oh,
100%. It's a simulated horror movie experience.
Right. So it's basically Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
It's that whole idea. Definitely Evil Dead, all that stuff. It's awesome, man. I don't want to give it too many spoilers away, but each character has their own style and old weapons to make the game different. This is a guy, Mr. X, which is a giant, which maybe you've seen on YouTube and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. And he has a cool trench coat and a top hat, and he kind of just follows you through the whole game, and he can't be killed unless he's a boss. So you can down him, and you can choose to use your ammo if you need to down him for a reason, or you have to avoid him, and you got to use your flash grenades on him, or for example, this game, you can there's ammo pieces, so you can literally you have to choose how you want to build your ammo. So there's gunpowder, and you can make grenade launchers or shotgun
Oh
cells.
man! So you can like synergize your items.
Right, and so I'll
That's
give
cool.
one little hint that at the end of the game, there's these plant zombies, and they only can be killed with flame rounds or flamethrower or something.
You got to burn
So
these bitches.
If you waste your flame ammunition early in the game, you kind of fucked. You basically just have to like run around them and down them. So,
Dude,
so,
I have not.
A strategy about
You're getting me hyped because I haven't played a Resident Evil game since I was younger, which is why Resident Evil 2 is on the to-do list for sure. But you're, oh man,
dude, I'll do a Twitch stream with you and play it.
I would love that. We should actually definitely do that. Is there a co-op mode?
No, the board game, yes.
Okay.
They gotten away from that, and I don't mind Resident Evil co-op. They started a series called Resident Evil Revelations.
Okay.
And they're not my favorite. Some people love them. They're fun for co-ops. They're awesome. Resident Evil's not a co-op game. Zelda's not a co-op game.
True.
You don't want to make a co-op. Don't take away from. I'm not gonna take away
You're
Resident
right.
Evil from being a co-op game. It's not.
You spoke to me in my language, and now I 100%
I know, bro.
understand what
I know,
you're saying.
man. Ocarina, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Of course,
Can't be
man.
doing that with a partner running around. It takes away the whole effect.
Right.
Because then one guy could carry the other. But yeah, dude, we'll definitely do a Resident Evil 2 stream. I got pulled right back in to Kingdom Hearts when they announced Critical Mode. So I dropped, and yeah, here we go. For those watching, I'm showing you the Collector's
Look at it.
Edition
You
box.
got the Collector's Edition box. It's nice, man.
The Collector's Edition box. They dragged me right back in with Critical Mode when they dropped it. I had just started Spider-Man.
What is Critical Mode? That's a hardcore mode or DLC?
It's just stupid fucking hard. It's free DLC. They gave it out for free, and it's just stupid fucking hard. It causes you to play the game so much differently. Like you said, you've dipped your toes in the game. You've started playing.
I have played up to Toy Story World.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah,
so you did the whole Ratatouille thing. You know how to cook meals and stuff like that. Have you done that yet? I think that happens actually after Toy Story.
I don't know
World.
if I have. I my buddy had it, so I pretty much racked out a couple nights at his house and kind of
Okay,
played a
cool.
little bit, but yeah.
But like basically, if you play the other two modes, like you don't need to do the cooking. It can give you cool stat boosts. It can make the game more fun and give you stronger abilities. But you don't really need that to get through the game. Critical mode, like you need these stat boosts or you're gonna fucking die.
It's hard, man. I remember the Toy Story World was this giant like doll or something, and it was like so hard to.
Oh, the creepy doll that captured Ham.
So hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Oh my god.
And I was like, this game is so hard. I was like, they actually made it really challenging.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. And they just did it all around great job. It's not a game without its flaws. There are a few games that are without their flaws.
Do you think it's the best one?
Do I think it's the best one? It's a good question.
You're knocking it a little bit with flaws. I was like,
there's some flaws. There's some flaws.
It,
it's a great game. I love the game, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best game in the series right now. The difference between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 is they can patch this son of a bitch, and they can add more story, and they can add more fights and boss battles. Because the real problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 is not the game itself; it's the after game content. In games like Kingdom Hearts 2. You could go and do the Sephiroth battle after. You had a whole Winnie the Pooh world that was optional that you could dive into. There was just all these options to do things after you had beaten the game. Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't have any of that.
Probably because of DLCs.
Probably because of DLC, because this is the new way of things. And say what you will about it, because it's like the post-game content in today's age of gaming is better. But man, it was nice when it came with the fucking game.
Resident Evil 2 remake. Post-game content, free DLC battle modes for
online.
Different additional. Well, you can put your scores up online. So again, it's single player.
Cool.
You can Twitch and all that stuff. But so it's Kendo, which is the guy who runs the gun shop, who's a playable character in here. Hunk, who's a playable character in the expansion board game, which I have. Yeah. There's a president, the mayor's daughter, and you can play as. I'm missing somebody. Oh, I think I'm missing somebody else. But you can play, and there's all. A quick like DLC kind of free campaign already came out like a month after the game,
and that's fucking beautiful. You gotta love it when they give you that
awesome.
Like free DLC. It feels like I don't even know what you would say, but free DLC is just a nice little gift. Like them giving like that example of them giving you that whole separate campaign, Kingdom Hearts patching and giving us critical mode for free. That I'm all about. It's the paid DLC that can be a little bit frustrating, but you get over it. Like, that Star Fox game that came out, they're patching it into a racing game.
Stop it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the how do you put it? That's
in a way, it does sound awesome, but at least I'm assuming they're racing in space.
Yeah, they're racing in space. and it's a whole. They don't even need to change the controls. They're keeping the same controls, just going to put you on a racetrack. And like that kind of post-game DLC, like that's what I'll pay money for.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm down. When Kingdom Hearts drops this story mode DLC, I'm gonna buy that in a fucking second. I can't fucking wait.
You got it. I mean, you have to. I mean, if you're a fan of something, you got it.
Yeah, if you're 2 feet in the water, I'm
gotta do it.
You know, something is like one of the things I like about you a lot is I think we're similar in the sense that like if you're gonna do something or engage with something, be it a sports team or a game itself, 2 feet in the water.
Oh yeah,
you can't have 1 foot in the deep end.
Dude, look what I'm
not.
wearing right now. I mean, I never really showcased it, but look at all these patches, man.
But yeah. And for those of you listening, like he's wearing
I'm wearing a jacket. It was like 50-something patches. I spent like $100 on patches. I got new ones coming on.
Decked out jacket with patches all over.
Like I'm constantly adding so that idea of like going all in.
Go all in on everything, dude. Dive. That's what I like so much about you, and that's why I relate to you. Is like,
same, man.
Dive head first all the way. Go in. Like explore all these worlds.
Right.
You know?
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying something, but like if you really enjoy, but if you really enjoy something, why not go all out in it? And like you guys know me, like I feel like I'm a huge Resident Evil fan of all my friends. However, like I feel like you guys like make me like coin me as a Resident Evil expert a little bit. Like I love like talking to your cousin Douglas. I was like, Jesus, dude, you still stuck in the garage? Or, like shit talking a little bit. Doug, pick up the game, man. Come on.
I feel the same. I talk a lot of shit to Doug and his lack of completion on many campaigns. We're looking at you, Doug.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that's the
thing.
No,
I
agree.
You're the Resident Evil guy in my network because you're 2 feet in, man. You got the collector's fucking board game here.
I know. That's
but
awesome.
that's what I love, man. I think that's the kind of stuff. Like there are lots of.
Dude, when I play, I put the music on. I go
my
you
God,
gotta go full nerd mode, man. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it. You know.
Hell yeah.
XFL is gonna be awesome. You gotta jump right in.
Look at you, season tickets. Like,
yeah, bro. It's gonna be awesome. It can't be that much money. It's totally worth it, dude. Yeah.
That's so fucking sweet.
You just gotta do it, man.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
That's it.
So, are there any upcoming games you're looking forward to? Anything on the horizon or anything that you're playing currently?
So, I don't know if you do know. I'm going to shift your question a little bit.
Go for it.
And, like, were you aware that I did the whole batting practice thing and, like, I went viral or no? I don't know if you're aware of this.
Yes.
Okay. So, to me, that was, like, the biggest game what I was looking forward to. My Mets ticket agent, shout out to Kaylin. Awesome. The best Mets ticket agent I ever had. And I've been a Mets plan holder since 05, the great 05 season.
Here we go.
Okay.
Most Mets.
Yeah, exactly. So we started turning around. And so I love, I love the way that she's so passionate. She's so good at her job that, I basically like, I talked to her and she's like, hey, can I do batting practice? I always wanted to do this, So I got on the field for batting practice. And for this game, it was like 2 weeks ago during my spring break.
Yep.
Got there early, met Todd Frazier, saw the whole team and everybody, saw Man Bear Pete, the Squirrel was there, all hitting bombs, driving the ball across the yard. And some guy from this cut website took a picture of me. And I don't know, you saw the picture and everything? Or yeah,
I can't imagine the picture you're referencing.
It's literally like it's I'm all decked out. I got like a 86 Mets tie, the full jacket, full Met pants and everything.
No, okay, yep, no, but now
and I'm like
I remember this.
And I
remember
swear
this.
to God, dude, it was like candid me. And like I was just in all my Mets glory. Like, just like, honoring City Field and watching them tee off, bomb balls in the batting cage. And it went viral and stuff like that. And like I got KFC from Barstool tweeting at me, and so it was crazy.
Fuck
man.
Yeah.
So to me, that was the greatest kind of experience. And then, I gotta give Jenna a shout out, because I know she will listen. And I do love going to games with her, man. She's full blown Mets fan.
Jenna's a lot of fun.
She trashed on Mickey Callaway. She boos Dominic Smith with me. She goes nuts and cheers, yells "Man Bear Pete," and like, so yeah. So you went to games, so
yeah.
If there's a Saturday, folks, DM me and Patchman Phil. I'm there.
He'll be around.
Grab a beer, take a picture, whatever you want to do. Say what's up. I'm always there on Saturdays. I would say 90% of the time I'm there on Saturdays. I would have had 30-something games this year. I would have been to 9 of them. So, I'm moving.
Fuck.
Yeah. So,
yes.
I would say I'll go, about 30-ish.
You going to be there this Saturday?
Yes, I will. That's the fireworks one.
Yeah, May 11th. I'll be there too. So we'll meet up. Let's meet up for a bit.
For Mother's Day. Yes, but Saturday I'll be there. Yeah.
Fuck
sure.
yeah. Well, let's definitely meet up for a bit.
Yeah. Definitely. Let me know. Well, hang out. You going with Charlotte or you going with the boys?
I'm going with my boys Scott and Pat. I don't know if you've seen. I post about them a lot. They do the end of the bench. They have a
Probably,
blog
yeah.
website.
They've done this. They've done their,
And they've done this before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
probably, like I said, I watched like the clips of like the preview clips and
Yeah,
So I
exactly,
probably,
yeah.
once I see him, like, oh, I know the face. Yeah, I'm sure I know him.
So
Yeah.
my buddy Scott, who runs the website, well, no, excuse me, he runs the whole company. He has me do the website, and like as a thank you, he's taking me and my buddy Pat out to like a Mets game. He covered the whole thing because he's the fucking
Nice
man.
seats and stuff. And yeah.
Oh god, I don't even know where the seats are.
Free
They're
seats,
probably
you can't
great
bitch.
fucking seats. They're probably great fucking
Trust me,
seats.
yeah.
I'm just happy to be there. I'll sit in the nosebleeds. I don't care, but. Little shout out to Scott. Scott's a great guy. He's hooking up the whole thing.
See you Saturday,
It's been
Scott.
a pleasure working for the end of the bench, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time this Saturday.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good time,
man. I'm in.
Yeah, you think we're gonna win? Who's pitching? Do we know who's pitching
We're
yet?
playing the Marlins, so if you listen
Better
to what I said
fucking win.
before,
Better fucking win. Yeah.
This is a season. Otherwise, you go into the Mets abyss. You got 6 games coming up against the Marlins in the next 9. You gotta win those games.
Gotta win those fucking games. But who's pitching? Do we know?
It's so far in advance, dude. I'm tired late at night. Don't make me figure out the rotation, bro. We'll figure it out. You have the CBS app, the CBS Sports app?
I don't.
We're doing free advertising.
We're doing so many
Fuck
free
it.
ads. So many free ads for all these fuckers today.
CBS Sports app is my favorite sports app. You can program it to set the news and how you want, and they give you summaries of the games and like how the breakdown of it. West Coast game in case you went to bed. It gives you the highlights of the game and breaks down how the game happened. You can find out who's starting the next day, what's the money line in the game or whatever. So CBS app
sounds dope.
Yeah, man. So
It's so funny. I'm so disconnected. I don't even have cable here.
God, full millennial.
It's full on millennial,
Dude,
right?
come on, man. What do you have then?
I've got
Roku,
Amazon.
Netflix,
We got a
or-
Roku.
Yeah,
I got Amazon,
classic.
Netflix, Hulu, HBO. We got the whole.
And he doesn't watch Game of Thrones. He has HBO.
I don't. Well, my roommate has HBO. I have access to HBO. I don't
Okay.
watch Game of Thrones. I might watch Westworld. Do you watch Westworld?
I gave up on Westworld.
You gave up on Westworld?
I watched season 1, halfway season 2, and I just couldn't do too many Dolores. Like
Dolores.
yeah. And it was cool to I used to love Anthony Hopkins just lecturing me about a soliloquy on peacocks, and the camera slowly zooms into his face. I would think that's hilarious. And eventually I just got bored. I got too much.
understand.
I was like,
I'm in love with the concept, and I think Jonathan Nolan is an amazing writer. I know he's the lead writer
right,
for the series.
Christopher Nolan's brother, right?
Yeah, he pretty
those
much
guys are
wrote
awesome.
a bunch of the Nolan movies, which
Yeah.
I miss seeing Nolan in the theater. I'm thinking maybe he's waiting for the whole comic book craze to die down. But while we have a few minutes left, let's we can riff on Avengers Endgame for a little bit.
All right, we'll get some
So
spoilers
spoiler
away.
alert!
Yep.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, you might want to drop out. But overall, what did you think?
Well, it was so I wasn't even huge of a Marvel's fan, and I felt like walking away. I mean, I've seen almost every movie other than Captain Marvel. I've pretty much seen every movie going into it, and I was so emotional leaving it, and maybe part was because I saw it with my parents, and I saw a lot of the movies with my dad, and the moment my parents are healthy enough and alive to see this with me. I mean that did play a little
A
bit.
surreal moment. No, it was very surreal
Right,
for you.
but I got a little choked up. Damn, it's over, and I know you're not Game of Thrones, so I'm not going to talk too much about it.
Go for it.
But it was literally, it's hard not to compare it to the Battle of Winterfell, which just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And night and day, this event, Endgame killed it, and in a good way. And it just, God, I love Iron Man, and so I love the arc of him being that cocky asshole. Iron Man 2 being drunk and shit, fuck you, Mickey Rourke, crazy drunk Tony Stark, and I love that vibe. And then Tony Stark has a heart, and they loop it back in, or Doctor Strange, and how Banner, what's his name, Hulk got the stone back from him, and he gave it away on purpose because the only way he saw was gonna win was by his Tony Stark
by
risking
keeping
his
Tony
life.
alive, risking his life, and being alive to build the time machine.
And not to build the time machine, and then not tell him the outcome. The only outcome they do win is that way.
What's your favorite, I guess I'd say, non-combat scene in the film? Because the end fight and a lot of the fights were so mind-blowingly epic. So I'm curious though, what was your favorite non-combat scene of the film? Because I have one scene coming right to my head.
There's a couple of them that I do want to say.
Sure.
And going back to the movie, I loved that the downtime. It was funny. It was funny. It's it's hard for me to choose because it was funny. Natalie Portman was somewhere in the movie for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
that's insane that she was even in this film. I mean, the best part of to me, it was when Thor was just drinking beers his stomach out, and that was to me the downtime scene. And him was like, "I'm Thor, the god of lightning," and he's playing Fortnite, drinking beers. To me, I thought that was the best. But
yeah.
I do love Ant-Man too, and there's some funny Ant-Man scenes as well.
I think my favorite scene, and that's one thing I will comment on that you just brought up. Their humor was great. I thought they had a great sense of humor in this film. That's one of the things I really liked about it. And the non-combat scene that sticks out to me, will always stick out to me, is the scene where Tony Stark met his father in the past.
Yeah, that was very good. Yep.
And he, the whole idea of like he had the suitcase, and everybody was looking for him, and his dad essentially extended kindness to a stranger. This is a man that Tony Stark has demonized for a decade, at least in cinema, but extend kindness to a stranger, walk him out of the building. And I think the pivotal moment, and this was a spoiler alert, this is the moment I knew Iron Man was going to die, was when he was talking to his father about having a child. And his father said, well, I hope it's not a son. And he's like, why? He's like, well, I wouldn't want him to be like me, because I've never been able to place the greater good before my own self-interest. And the thing that gets me off, exactly, it's so amazing. And the thing that gets me going on that is I'm a big fan of Joseph Campbell's work. He wrote the book The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Illustrates that pretty much every story is the same. And the archetypal idea of the hero is that essentially, in layman's, you rescue your father from the underworld, which in layman's terms doesn't necessarily mean you literally rescue your father from the underworld like Horus in Egyptian mythology did. But it essentially means you find the parts of your parents' tradition that are spoiled and rotten, and you sever them off from the future. That's essentially what Tony Stark literally did.
It was awesome.
Exactly. When he's like, oh, so like my father couldn't put the greater good first. I'm going to change that. And by changing that, I will have rescued him from his sin.
Right. Well, but him meeting his father helped him do that. It helped him come closure in that, for sure.
Yes. And it's that kind of stuff that when I see these great stories commit to these archetypes that are so profound and have stayed with us for millions of years, there's almost something like supernatural about it, because there's something about that clicks, that we go back and see it again and again and again. And Disney, to their credit, Marvel, the production studio, everyone who worked on that film, I think it's a movie with flaws. Very few movies are without it. But when it comes to what was important, and when I say is important, I mean the primary arcs of that original Avengers crew, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers being at the head of it, they fucking nailed it.
So I didn't even like some of the other Avenger movies. It's like the first one, it just feels like, hey, the gang's all here.
Yes.
The second one was like a shittier version of the gang's all here.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like Age of Ultron.
And then Civil War was good, but it still wasn't like. This was like almost like it was such a good movie. I put it up there with the Christopher Nolan Batmans as like how well it was.
Yeah.
And how emotional I attached and I felt.
And maybe I'm a fanboy.
I
put it on the Batman Begins level, like at the least, if not better. Yeah.
It was the only. I love Marvel. Everyone knows Marvel's better than DC.
Cinematically, yes. Cinematically.
Right. As far as like Batman, I love Batman, but like the cinematic, the DC movies are sometimes they're a joke.
They're just trash. Aquaman withholding. Haven't seen Aquaman. Really liked Wonder Woman. Everything else I've seen has been garbage.
So I'll give you an example about Aquaman without ruining anything in the movie. There's a guy called like the Ocean Master.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. Spoiler. I'm not ruining the movie, but right. This is just. So basically, like Guardians of the Galaxy, they make a joke out of it, and they always like, "What's your name?" And like they make jokes out of it, where like they're like, "I'm the Ocean Master," and like that's it. And it's like it's just a DC writing
humor. You know what it is?
And Thor, they made him funny, and now people like Thor more.
Yes,
and he's great. I can't wait to see Guardians 3. And so
Guardians 3.
As
Guardians.
Yeah, right. Who's the leader? Right? And so it's just so goddamn it, Disney. Like, I'm gonna get Disney Plus now. God damn it. We go all in, folks.
Exactly.
I'm getting Disney Plus.
Exactly. Getting Disney Plus, no question. But look, we gotta wrap this thing up real quick. I want to give you your time. Say your piece. Say your plug. Let these Met fans know what you got going on. And if you're not a Met fan and you're listening, sorry we disagree. Fuck you.
Yeah. Let's go Mets, man. Patchman Phil. Always, anytime you guys are at a game, just DM me. Like I said, just let me know. I'd love to meet up. Saturdays, I do have a Saturday 20-game plan, so I'm always there. And let's go Mets. Hopefully this is the year. And take care of those fish coming up.
Let's go Mets. Phil, thank you so much for coming on.
It's put in the books.
It's off the charts. What would you be like? What would you be like? What